new student meeting. We're excited to have you all here. We're going to start by letting a couple of our faculty members introduce themselves, and they may talk a little bit about the program and just mention some helpful advice to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Hewling, and I am a faculty member in the Elementary Education Department in the College of Ed. So I teach some classes to junior and senior level students, and I help supervise when our students go out into the K-5 classrooms and teach lessons with little elementary kids.
And I am April Newkirk. I also teach in the ELEM program. I teach junior and senior level courses. So once you're officially in the program, you will see a lot of Ms. Hewling and myself. I've been at Georgia Southern for almost 11 years. And before that, I taught in the elementary classroom. I still do a lot of work in the elementary classroom and working with teachers. And so we're going to talk very quickly with you about our program.
Yep. So when you enter into our program, the semester before you come in, you'll do the PPB block, which they'll go over with you and discuss when you're doing advising and things like that. But once you enter in, we go through a whole sequence and scope of courses that introduce you to what is curriculum, what is teaching, what are effective characteristics of what teachers do. And then we run through different methods courses for all the content areas that you will be certified in when you graduate after student teaching.
And what's really great about our program of study is you are certified for pre-K through 5th grade, all content areas. And to be honest with you, we have a lot of fun. It's a rigorous program, but those of us that teach in the program love what we do. We enjoy working with our students and enjoy working in the elementary classrooms, refining our craft so we can be even better at what we do with you all. You have a lot of field placements that allow you to interact with your students. Now, I will say that things are a little crazy now. I don't know if you know that. But it's a little crazy right now in our world. And so we just kind of are making the best out of it. And so we're going to continue to work on the same model that everything will be back to where it was one day and eventually. And that will allow you lots of opportunities to go into field placements and experience what it's like to actually work with an 11-year-old or a 5-year-old on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's what makes our program so unique, is that we do have a lot of field hours that allow you to really decide, is this what I want to do? And we do hope that that is in fact the way that it ends, and that you get into this program and you love it as much as we do, and that you graduate and walk across that stage as an Eagle teacher.
Definitely. And within our elementary program, we have 2 different tracks. We have an elementary ed major, which is a general education major. So you're certified in the K through 5 content. And then we also have the dual certification program, which you are then certified for general education and special education K through 5. So kind of opens some extra doors for you, and then helps you to better understand students who may have special needs in your classroom, and how to differentiate and help them.
All of our people, did we cover all the things you hoped that we would?
That was great. Thank you so much. And so yes, thank you, Professor Hewling and Professor Newkirk. Anyone in the elementary ed program, you all would be so lucky to have either of them. They are very popular amongst the students. So yes, we very much appreciate you both coming.
We paid them to say that, is what I think we're supposed to say at this point. I will get with you Venmo and make sure that you're paid for that. All right, well, we're gonna head out unless there's something else that you need from us.
Oh, no ma'am.
Okay, I know that you all will give them lots of wonderful information about our program. Thanks for having us.
Definitely. All right, future Eagle teachers, we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. So yes, we had a couple of faculty members, and I realized they were only from the elementary education major. But don't worry, our other programs, we'll discuss them as well. And they do follow a similar path. So we are going to go ahead and get started. And just in case, nobody sees Dr. Adkins on here, do they? Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go through with our PowerPoint. One moment.
Also, while we're waiting, I was going to say, don't be shy. Feel free to share your cameras if you're comfortable. Feel free to ask questions. We do have a chat feature, so if you do have any questions that we don't go over, please make sure that you ask them in that box. Typically, everyone might have the same question as you. So yes, I am going to go ahead and hand it on back over to Nicole. I was going to say, Nicole, whatever you were doing previously, I would go back to that screen. There we go. Yeah, because it's on split screen right now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so does everybody see the complete screen, Georgia Southern University? All right, so I am going to let Miss Janina Jones take it away.
All right, as she said, my name is Janina Jones. We'd like to welcome you to this presentation today. And as you see on the first slide here, we have several ways for you to stay connected. We have Twitter, Georgia Southern COE, Facebook, and as well as Instagram. So make sure you, Michelle, she's actually, she coordinates these, so make sure you, sign on, subscribe, and follow these links. So I'm going to go ahead and start introducing members of our Advisement Center. The first person we have Miss Lisa Leach. She is the gatekeeper for the office. She's the first person you'll see when you walk into the Advisement office, and she's our administrative assistant. And next we have Miss Monica Brewster. She is on the call with us today. I'll let her introduce herself.
Sure. I'm Monica Brister. I'm the Academic Advisement Coordinator. So my job is basically just to be a secondary form of help. Obviously, you're going to go to your advisor first, but I'm also here to answer all your questions, help with issues, be backup if your advisor is out. So definitely feel free to reach out to me as well.
Thank you, Monica. Up next, we have Ernestine Burns. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday, late Friday. My name is Ernestine Burns. I'm one of the advisors on the Statesboro campus, and I advise elementary education majors, last name A through L, and also dual certification. Now, with dual certification, this is something, if you're interested in, you would apply to this program later. You would be certified in pre-K through 5th grade, and you would have both an elementary ed certification and a special ed, but it's one certification, but both majors, okay? This is something that you're interested in, then you probably want to just let your advisor know, but it would come later, probably around your sophomore year when you would apply to this program. My email address is listed. If you have questions for me later, eburns@georgiasouthern.edu.
And I'll go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Nicole Aldana. I'm sorry, that's a little old. That was my maiden name. My email is still the same though. It's nwright@georgiasouthern.edu, and I advise the other half of the elementary education majors on the Statesboro campus. So if your last name ends in M through Z, I'll be your advisor. And I also advise all of the special education majors. And I will let Michelle go next.
Hey y'all, so my name is Michelle Nurse, and I am the Health and Physical Education Advisor as well as the Birthday Kindergarten Advisor here on the Statesboro campus. That is about 50% of my job. The other 50% is I do undergraduate recruitment for all programs in the College of Education, so you will see me around all the time around campus. Don't be afraid to say hi, but if you ever do need to reach me or have any questions, my email address is mnurse, like a doctor's nurse, @georgiasouthern.edu. And no, my degree was not in nursing.
Okay, my name is Janina Jones. As I mentioned previously, I am the advisor for middle grades and secondary here on the Statesboro campus. And as you can see, my email address is janinajones@georgiasouthern.edu. Next, we're going to introduce the advisors for the Armstrong and Liberty campus. We have Stephen Smith joining us today. Stephen, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am the education advisor for the Armstrong campus. I advise most of the education majors. I also picked up interdisciplinary studies this semester. I am located in the Student Success Center on the Armstrong campus. I don't know if I'm going to meet any of you because it looks like you're mostly Statesboro students, but now you know who I am.
Thank you, Stephen. And next we have Rolinda Carey. She is the education advisor for the Liberty campus. I don't see her on here today. I don't think she was able to join us, but you can see her email information here. It's rcarey@georgiasouthern.edu. Okay, next we have the College of Education department chairs. Here, first you'll see Amy Atkins. She is a professor in middle grades and secondary education, at a department chair for, middle grades and secondary education. And then you have Yashar Bodor. He is the department chair for elementary and special education. And their email addresses are listed below. All right, and then here we have the College of Education deans. Amy Heaston, she is currently at the interim dean for COE. And then we have Tracy Linderholm. She is the associate dean for administration. And they're the first two, they're actually located in the dean's office suite in room 1100. And then Deborah Thomas, she is the associate dean of curriculum and instruction. Her office is located in the College of Education in room 1103. So welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about the weeks of welcome. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle.
Yeah, so I just wanted to tell you all a little bit about our weeks of welcome. So we know that this year is a little bit different. A lot of things are virtual. A lot of things aren't happening that used to happen. But we still want to welcome you to our nest and still want you to get out of your residence hall room. We do not have dorms here at Georgia Southern, the residence halls, and want to make sure that you're getting out and meeting new people. I don't know how easy it will be, but Nicole, if you're able to click the link, the banner is actually hyperlinked to the website. If not, there is a website that is right there, georgiasouthern.edu/wow, which stands for Weeks of Welcome, of course. On that website, you'll be able to see different presentations and different events that are going on, and they actually did a wonderful job because they actually grouped them together. So if you're more interested in like health and fitness, they have a section for that. If you're more interested in like mentorship, they have a section for that. Of course, if you went through Rush or you did join a sorority, I'm sure you already are having your Weeks of Welcome events. And also Fraternity Life typically starts 6 weeks into the semester. I know they're having a lot of events for you all to go and see as well. So just make sure that you're not staying in your residence hall. Make sure that you are getting out on campus, usually the third. Oh, there we go. So yes, teaching and learning, you have engagement, there's health and wellness, networking and processing, tons and tons of things that you can kind of go to and click these hyperlinks that'll tell you the alternative events that are going on campus. But when I was a student, the third week of classes on a Wednesday, they did have a student organization fair. I'm pretty sure it's going to be virtual this year, but that was how I joined all of my student organizations. So we just want to make sure that you're really getting out. Of course, if you have any questions, just let us know. We'll be more than happy to answer that. But we can go ahead and go on to the next slide, which we really just wanted to do a little bit of a check-in with you all and with each other. I know some of you didn't want to share your faces or your screens, but thank you for those who did. If you're brave enough to talk, how are just the first few days of classes going? Does anyone have any really fun stories that happened? Anything that was like super crazy that happened? Are you loving college? Are you hating it? We really just wanted to hear from you all. So let us know, how is it going? And you can unmute yourself too. Don't be afraid to kind of talk to us. Let me go see if I can see all you students. Okay, I see that we have a little bit of a comment. So it's been very busy, but interesting. The workload is horrible. Thank you for that comment. Yes, hopefully your workloads aren't too overwhelming at this point in time. You all I'm assuming are traditional freshmen. So most of you probably have like 15 credit hours. So yeah, good job on going to classes, making sure that you've been verifying that attendance and things like that. Anybody else have anything else they want to say? Any other strange things? I see Kiana just turned on.
So does the College of Education have any events to kind of like welcome us, or we could see you in person type of thing?
Yes, so we will actually get into that in a little bit. So to kind of hold on to that question, we're going to kind of tell you how you could actually come see us face to face or virtually, kind of at the end of our presentation. That is a wonderful question. And I'll also be telling you about a College of Education opportunity actually on the next few slides. So just hold that thought for a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Summer has a little bit of a comment. It says, it's been stressful trying to keep things organized and getting work done, but you're getting through it. Yes, college is, I'm sure Nicole, Ernestine, Monica, everybody who went here, Janina as well. College can be very overwhelming. When I was in high school, I thought I had time management done. And then you get to college and it's like, no, you suck at time management. So it does take a few days and a few weeks to kind of get the hang of it. It will get easier. That's the most important part. It will get easier and y'all are doing a wonderful job. Thank y'all. Y'all are doing so great. Anyone else? Any last minute comments or things? Very stressful, yes. Just to give y'all a little heads up, a little bit more about me, I did both of my degrees here, but my first week of college classes, it rained the entire week. So Monday through Friday, every single new class I had to go to, it was torrential raining, like South Georgia rain. And I was soaked and I called my mom the first week after classes and I was like, please come pick me up. I want to go somewhere closer to home because it's raining too much here. I can't do anything. I lived in Eagle Village and I couldn't find the dining hall, which is right down the road from it. So yeah, I had a lot of different experiences. I was gonna say, Nicole, Janina, Ernestine, Stephen, any of y'all want to give any kind of pro tips or any funny things that happened to y'all your first week of college, just to let them know that they are not struggling alone?
Well, I just want to say it's been so long since I attended college. It's been years and years. But I know when I first started, it was kind of like, it was okay. I don't remember as it being too terribly stressful. But I got to meet different people, and I think that worked out. And just, you know, trying to meet people, and even if you have to do it social distancing, that's good as well. So, but yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, Haley is saying that, yeah, it's very stressful. Again, Janina's going to tell you a little bit about her experience.
Well, so I came in, I was a non-traditional student when I returned. And I think one of the biggest benefits that helped me get through was to make those connections. I know it's probably going to be a little challenging now, but I'm not necessarily challenging, but having to do everything virtually. But make sure you still get out, like Michelle said, and you know, get on campus, get to know different departments and what they offer and the resources, and that'll help alleviate a lot of the stress. Just knowing helps alleviate some of the stress. So make sure you take advantage of all those resources.
Yes, and I would add too, you know, keep in mind social distancing, but definitely getting to know your classmates. Hopefully you've done that these past couple of weeks. You might be nervous or shy, but don't worry, everybody is feeling the same way. So, you know, just take that extra step and introduce yourself. I will say my experience, you know, the first couple weeks, it was great. You know, I was worried about being homesick. That didn't happen. But I will say, when I came back in January after the holidays, I had a little bout of homesickness that first week. So don't be surprised if that happens because, you know, holiday time. But coming back in January, you'll get right back into the swing of things.
All righty. Well, thank you everyone for talking to us and being willing to speak with us. We are your academic advisor, so we want you to feel comfortable coming and talking to us. But let's go on and continue to the next slide. As I was mentioning to Kiana, there is a very special thing I want to tell you all about. I didn't add a slide for it, but it's because who you're seeing on the screen right now, Savannah Rodriguez, is actually a part of it. So I also run something called COSAT. COSAT stands for College of Education Student Ambassador Team. So if you all ever took a tour at Georgia Southern or you came for an open house, you might have taken a walking tour of campus from a Southern ambassador. I was a Southern ambassador when I was an undergrad and I loved it. So when I got this job, I decided to try and make a new organization that kind of mirrored that, but with a special emphasis in college of education. And so I just wanted you to meet a few of our student ambassadors. You are able to try out to be a part of COSAT, the COSAT team for the 2020 to 2021 academic year. If you are interested, again, you just need to email me, mnurse, like a doctor's nurse at georgiasouthern.edu. But we did want some of our students to kind of give you all some advice and give you all some helpful tips about college, because these are actual students who are actually in the program that you will actually be seeing on campus. So Savannah is a special education major. She is a senior, I believe, at this point. She's Nicole's student, so she might have a little bit further of knowledge than me. But Savannah actually did very, very good advice points. Purchase a planner. Like I said, you think you know time management, you think you know everything, you know, when you're 18, 19, however old you may be and come into college. I know I didn't, and after joining 4 student organizations and trying out for Greek life and taking 18 hours, that's how many I took my first semester, things get really out of control really quickly. So you need to make sure that you purchase a planner. You need to not panic. A lot of you have already mentioned about how stressful things were, how you were scared, how things of that are going. Don't panic. Things are going to be rocky at first, but you're going to get used to it. You're going to be just fine. And get to know your classmates. That's actually a really good piece of advice I would also give. Once you enter the TEP program, which we will go over here in a little bit, those are the people you're really in classes with until you graduate. So from like the middle of your sophomore year until you graduate senior year, you're kind of around the same group of people. So make sure you make friends and make sure you get to know each other. Taylor Mathewson is a dual certification student. Ernestine told you a little bit about that. She has great advice as well. Take care of yourself, mentally, physically, everything. Mental health is really, really important. We do have a strong emphasis of it here at Georgia Southern. We are going to tell you some good resources that you can get into later on in the presentation for that. Of course, experience new things and get organized. Kind of the same thing Savannah had said, but still, because 2 people have told you it, hopefully that kind of beats it in and you're like, yes, I need a planner to be successful in college. So hopefully you're all doing that. So these are just a few of our students, but like I said, we do want you to spread your wings. So we decided to just give you a little bit more of some important resources here on campus. We do have counseling services and health services. The Counseling Center gives you 16 free sessions per academic year. So literally, if you want to go in there to talk about family issues, if you want to go in there because you're stressed, if you need somebody to yell at and you can't find someone, don't yell at your counselor. But you could go in there and you could vent and you can get a personal one-on-one session, or they do couples therapy, they do group therapy. There's so many great opportunities. We also have health services, which is awesome. It's located right across the street from the PAC. The Nesmith Lane Conference Center by Southern Pines, if that's your residence hall. Health services is awesome. When I was a freshman, it did not look how it did now. And so you can go in there. They really accept almost all insurance types as well. So tutoring services are available. We have our Academic Success Center that is located on the 2nd floor of the library, as well as the Writing Center is also located in the library as well. So if you need tutoring, if you're struggling with any classes, please email them or reach out to them. I did hyperlink all of these websites, so we won't click on all of them now, but we are recording this presentation. So when you rewatch it, make sure you go on and look at these websites if you think that you need help. And again, student organization, that's going to be the Office of Student Activities. They should be having an organization fair. Like I said, it's typically the 3rd week of classes on a Wednesday, but it's probably going to be virtual now due to COVID and things of that nature. But make sure that you're spreading your wings and getting out. And then, of course, where can you find us? So we are located on the pedestrian. Hopefully, if you're on the Statesboro campus, you've walked the pedestrian a little bit. All you knew, you just walk straight and you can find all your classes. It's wonderful. But we are located in the Square building, which is the office building, on the 1st floor in room 1107. That is where the Statesboro advisors are located. You have our number there in our hours of operation. And then the Armstrong campus, the Student Success Center is where the Armstrong advisors are going to be located. Again, 1st floor, it's room 124. Steve, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that should be right. And then the hours of operation are Monday through Friday, again, from 8 to 5, and there's their phone number there. Again, please don't just walk in places at this point because, of course, due to COVID, we are doing virtual, and there's going to be certain things that you have to do. So just make sure you're reaching out. And then finally, I know I'm talking so much. Aren't y'all tired of me already? And then finally, why should you become an Eagle teacher? So obviously, we're so happy to have you all here at Georgia Southern in the College of Education. We just want you to know that after graduating from our program, you will graduate with over 1,000 hours of in-field experience. You will have a variety of placements. We can place you up to 60 miles outside the city of Statesboro or Savannah, whichever campus that you're located on. We do have study abroad opportunities during student teaching. Nicole can hit on that a little bit later if she would like to, but that's offered in England. We also have smaller class sizes, so you won't be in these huge lecture halls once we get back to normal lecture halls for your program. So your classes are usually capped out at about 25 to 35, so you all really get to know each other. Employment yield is above 90%. It's actually probably higher than that. That's an old number I pulled, but we're in a national teacher shortage right now, so our students never have any issues finding jobs or getting internships or doing anything like that. And again, we do have our own campus resources here in the actual College of Education. So we do have the ISRC, which is the Instructional Student Resource Center. It's located on the second floor on the classroom side of the College of Education. So that's going to be the long rectangular building. We also have Career and Professional Development Center, which is located in the Williams Center, which is at the top of the pedestrian. But we do have our own COE person. Her name is Amy Rowell. She is able to kind of help find career opportunities, jobs, and different things of that nature. But thank y'all for letting me talk your ear off. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over to Nicole for a little bit, and she's going to go over some core requirements.
Hi everyone again. So let's go through some core. I know it's not the exciting part, but this is something that all students have to do. So of course we want to keep you within the College of Education, but we realize some students might change your major. Just know that whatever major you have to have these core requirements. So in Area A, for example, everybody has to have, English Composition 1 and 2 and an Area A math. And then you go to Area B, which is a world history, global perspectives class, and a core capstone. Area C will be your world lit or philosophy class, and then a fine arts class like public speaking or art and live. Area D, each student needs to have 2 lecture and lab science classes and then 1 Area D elective class. Area E, that will be your political science class, US history, and 1 social science such as psychology or sociology. So those are all the classes that everybody has to have, but don't forget there's also Area F. Area F core classes are specific to your major. So our faculty members that spoke to us, they talked a little bit about PPB or pre-professional block. That is where you take the PPB classes and then a few other classes related to your major. There are a couple other requirements which you're probably in right now, such as the FYE 1220 class and KINS 1525. If you're not in KINS 1525 yet, that's fine. You can take that later on. All right, so let's move on. And just so everybody knows, everyone starts out on the non-certification track. And that's not to scare you all. It's just until you meet the requirements to enter the teacher education program, you are considered non-certification. Once you meet the requirements, we will change you to the certification track. That normally happens around your junior year. So for the non-certification track, you just have to maintain a 2.0 cumulative GPA. But of course, we want everyone to make A's and B's always. You have to get a C or higher in your Area A, Area F classes, and education content related classes. And if you choose to, you can decide to stay non-certification, or if you get into the program, something happens and you decide it's better for you to do non-certification, you can change back. Some students choose to do that due to various reasons. To graduate as a non-certification student, you would choose 2 concentrations or 2 minors. And then, yes, you could graduate with your bachelor's degree. It would be a bachelor's degree in professional studies. Our hope for that is that students who do non-certification, they will perhaps go on to the Master of Arts in Teaching program and get certified that way. But of course, there are other routes you could take. To get into the program, the teacher requirements or teacher education program requirements are right here. You have to have 50 hours of your core classes completed. That's not all of your core classes. So most students think they have to complete all of the core, and that's not the case. If you have taken 50 hours of your core, then you can still graduate within that time as long as you take summer classes. So that's why, as long as you've taken 50 hours, that's fine. Just keep in mind your Area A and your Area F core classes, that adjusted GPA has to be at least 2.75. You have to earn at least a C in all of your Area A, Area F, and major courses. There's one exception. Everyone has to take an Intro to Special Education class. In that class, you have to earn at least a B. As you know, we're a more inclusive society, so no matter what, you will be working with special needs students. For the program, you have to maintain a 2.5 cumulative GPA or higher. As I mentioned before, of course, we want you to have all the A's and B's. And then you must complete that pre-professional block, which is part of your Area F core. Part of that too, when you get into PPB, there will be a PPB orientation. You will get the liability insurance you need, and that's just because you never know what's going to happen when you're working with kids, and that's to protect you. You have to complete the GACE ethics assessment, and that's something you do online. It's just a series of modules, and it's going over how teachers are expected to behave. You know, for example, is it ever okay to take a student home by your car? Things like that. And you also have to complete the application, which will prompt the background check. And the big one, you have to pass the GACE program admissions assessment. And that is, it consists of 3 sections, reading, math, and writing. And you can find the test dates for that. You can go ahead and take it, but check with your advisor first. You might be exempt based on your SAT or ACT scores. To be exempt by ACT, your English and math scores have to add up to at least 43. SAT, the reading and math have to add up to 1,000. Or if you took it after July 1st, or excuse me, if you took it July 1st, 2019 or after, you need to have at least a 1080. But that, you need to pass it in order to get into the program, unless you're exempt. So program entry, what we talk about by this is that is when you can enter the program. Some programs are more flexible than others. Elementary education and middle grades, they consist of 133 hours total. That's core and your major classes. You can enter either of those programs in a fall or spring semester. So let's say you don't have the requirements met in time for the fall. You could enter the very next semester in the spring. That's fine. Some students, enter the program early. That's an option too. Now our other programs like dual certification, special education, health PE, and secondary, they are fall entry only. So you must enter the program that fall semester or you'll have to wait another year. And the total hours vary, but they're mainly 124, 125 hours. Student teaching, that will be your last semester. So when you hear us say student teaching, that's what we're referring to. When you're in the program, there will be 4 semesters you have in a field placement, but just that last semester we call student teaching, mainly because you're at your field placement all day, every day. In order to get into student teaching, you must at least attempt your GACE content. Ideally, you pass it and you're done, but as long as you attempt it, you can enter student teaching. Just be sure to pass it to get your certification. And as Michelle mentioned before, there is a study abroad opportunity. You can study abroad in England your last semester, and they're working on other opportunities such as in Prague, the Czech Republic as well. I know right now we're in a pandemic, but hopefully by that time we will be in the clear and we can go back to traveling and studying abroad. All right, we're going to move on, and I'm going to let Ms. Burns take it away.
Ernestine, you're on mute.
Got it, thanks. Okay, so we're going to talk about endorsements. And so basically with endorsements, these are something extra that you can add to your certificate, your teaching certificate. So with the ESOL endorsement, it consists of these 3 courses here, applied linguistics, cultural issues, and also methods of ESOL, okay? And so with these particular courses, this is something you would take when you start the teacher education program, which a lot of times we say teacher education program, we'll say TEP, which stands for teacher education program. So this is something that you wouldn't be doing right now unless you'd already started the program, and your advisor probably have already told you if you already started the program. With the ESOL endorsement, as I said, it's something extra, so it's not part of your program. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you're receiving financial aid, make sure you talk with financial aid because you want to make sure that these courses are covered. I will tell you this because I advise elementary education majors that with the ESOL, the TCLD 4231, that's the cultural issues course. That's already part of your program. So that course is, of course, paid for, as part of your program. But with the other two courses, the applied linguistics and the methods for ESOL, that's something that if you're receiving aid, you want to talk with financial aid to see if those two courses are going to be covered, okay? And if you have an interest in ESOL endorsement, even though it may not be time for you to start those courses, if you have interest in it, always just ask your advisor, email your advisor, hey, I have interest in those courses. When can I take these courses? The other thing too, you can always Google. I always tell my students, if there's something you don't know, you can always Google. Just Google Georgia Southern's ESOL endorsement. Okay, so the other endorsement is gifted endorsement, and this is relatively new. And with this particular program, it consists of these 4 courses that you see listed. I won't go through all of those, but you see those 4 courses listed there. And I think this program is online for the most part, and it's 2 courses you have to take in the summer. But if you're interested in working with gifted students, then high ability students, then of course this is maybe something you're interested in. Here again, this gifted endorsement program is not part of your program. So if you have an interest in it, make sure that you speak with financial aid if you're receiving aid. This is also taught at the graduate level, but these are the undergrad. And let me a little note that I want to tell you that when you see courses, for instance, like let's go back to the ESOL endorsement, TCLD 4233, anytime you see like an uppercase G, a capital letter G next to the course number, that's graduate level. So these courses are also offered at the graduate level, but these are the undergraduate level courses, okay? Okay, so advisement, let's talk about advisement. So of course you guys have already been advised for fall, you've already started fall, yay! So now we're talking about for this current fall, you're going to be advised for spring and summer semester. Even if you don't have an interest in summer semester, we still will let you know what courses you can take in the summer. So when you attend your Zoom meeting, your appointment meeting for advisement, we're trying to, I guess, social distance as much as possible. So most of this is going to be Zoom meetings. So it's going to be virtual appointments. So you have opportunity for in-person appointments, but it's very rare occasion. If it's something that you must talk with your advisor face-to-face, you can always email your advisor and ask. But of course, with COVID-19, you guys, the key thing is to remain safe. So that's what we're trying to do. And with our office, it's not as large as some of the offices are. So if you happen to come to the office, and by all means, try not to do, I think we're going to talk about drop-ins in a few minutes, but try not to do drop-ins. If you can, email your advisor or call your advisor. If you have to come in, give a heads up and ask to come in. When you do come in, pretty much I think we're only allowing like maybe 3 students in the office at one time. And if there's more than 3 students, then we're going to ask that you stay out in the hallway. We're just trying to remain safe. Okay, so EAB Navigate. You're going to hear a lot about EAB Navigate. With EAB Navigate, you can make your appointment to see your advisor, your Zoom appointment. And you will be hearing from us soon. You will get an email through EAB telling you how to make an appointment. You just click on the link within that email to make an appointment through EAB. And EAB Navigate is actually located under your My Georgia Southern. So I guess everybody probably know about My Georgia Southern and how you log in. And once you get to My Georgia Southern, you just click on EAB Navigate, okay? At your advisement appointment, you will receive your RAN, and your RAN is the registration access number. It's like a 6-digit number. I know with the new freshmen, you guys, you didn't get your RAN this time, but you will get it for your spring advisement, for your spring 2021 advisement and your summer 2021 advisement. When you have your meeting with your advisor, just try to remember or think of any questions, any specific questions you might have for your advisor. Arrive to your Zoom meeting on time. And you start learning your program map. We all gave you guys a program map when we did your advisement for this current fall semester. So just, if you don't have a copy, we can always send you another copy. But just try to keep up with your program map. It's very important to have that program map and to be aware of the courses on there. And I know you guys are not going to know it like right away, but just start, trying to learn your program map. I mentioned drop-ins earlier. It's pretty much like I said earlier, it's kind of like if you have an emergency, then maybe a drop-in appointment. So as far as your advisor, when is your advisor in the office? I have to admit, I'm doing my advisements virtually, and also Ms. Jones, she is as well. If you happen to come in or have to come in, you probably will be seeing another advisor if you have to have a face-to-face appointment. And even Nurse Aldana and Miss Nurse, they're not in every day. They do rotation. So if you just drop in, you may not see your advisor. So that's why I always say, if you can now, try to give your advisor a heads up. Hey, I really, really have to see you. This is very important. I must see you face to face. So please let your advisor know, and they'll email you back or whatever and let you know what time they may have and so forth. Okay. All right. Email etiquette. This is something that's always kind of I like to go over. I'm just going to kind of sum this slide up. Always when you email your advisor, try to remember that to include, or email your advisor, anybody on campus for that matter, remember to include your name and your Eagle ID. It might be even better just to have a signature line with your name, your full name, or not necessarily your full name, at least your first name, your last name, and your Eagle ID, okay? So we'll know, because there might be a lot of Mary Jones. So we want to make sure that we have the appropriate student, okay? And when you're emailing your faculty, don't just say you have I'm just going to make up a name. Say Joe Evans is your professor. You're not going to want to email your professor and say, hey, Joe. That's not appropriate. So what you want to do is like email your advisor and say, hi, Dr. Jones, or hi, Dr. Say it's Joe Jones. So hi, Dr. Jones, or hello, Professor Jones. So we just don't want to be saying like really cool, like what's up, not that. So that's really not good. That's not professional. Try to not have any slang, so forth, as I mentioned. And I think the key is just remember etiquette, remember your name, your Eagle ID. And also when you email us, try to be more specific and not just say, oh yeah, the email that you emailed me about the other day, I need more information about the email. Be more specific. Try to be more specific in your emails when you email your advisor or anyone on campus. And I think that's pretty much. Anyone else want to make a comment about email etiquette? I don't know if I've missed anything or.
I just want to reiterate the point of sending your Eagle ID. Please, please, please send your Eagle ID. I know you might think, even if you think your name is super unique, still send that Eagle ID. It just makes it a lot easier for your advisor.
And the other thing too with the emails, don't use all caps when you're sending your emails to us, okay? All right, so how to register. I think, especially with the transfer students, we already probably sent you a link when we first advised you for this current semester of how to register for classes. You can always Google Georgia Southern how to register for courses, but let's look at this right now. So if you want to know how to register, you're going to log into your My Georgia Southern. That's pretty much key, My Georgia Southern, to do a lot of things. So you go to your My Georgia Southern, you're going to click on Wings, then you're going to click on the Student tab, Registration, and then Add Drop Classes. Then you're going to enter that RAN number, that 6-digit number, okay? In order to view the courses that are available, you're going to open up a new tab, and you're going to click on Course Search, okay? And then Course Search will give you a 5-digit number known as the CRN. So usually the CRN is located to the left of the course number, or left of the course. So you'll see the CRN. You're going to enter that CRN, that 5-digit number, into the Wings, and you're going to select Register, okay? And I don't know if I mentioned this. How to find Wings is, here again, is go to your My Georgia Southern, click on Wings, and then you click on Registration. That's pretty, for the most part, it's pretty simple, okay? Oh, any questions? You guys have any questions for us?
Speak now or never ask it. I'm just kidding. No questions?
Do we have any chats or?
I was gonna say, yeah, chat's clear. Okay. Oh, there we go, from Nicole. All righty, so no last minute questions, nothing that you're worried about, you need help on Monday, nothing of that nature. We just wanna make sure that you all are sent away feeling confident in your choice of being a College of Education Eagle. But yeah, let us know.
And I do want to say that I thank everyone I know this is Friday, this late Friday, but thank you guys for attending this meeting, and we really appreciate it.
All righty, well, if no one has anything left to say, Monica.
Hey, there's a question in the chat.
Oh, yay. I love questions.
Okay, so registration is going to start in early November. Depending, normally it's set up by how many hours you have completed. So some students that have dual enrollment or AP credits done, you might be registering earlier than certain freshmen or transfer students. So yeah, it depends. You will be able to find that day in your Wings account. And also, if you need help, your advisor can tell you as well. So great question. Some students, if you have accommodations through SARC, or if you're honors, or if you take notes for the Student Accessibility Resource Center, you might have early registration as well.
That was a good question.
Yes, excellent. And when we meet for advisement, we can also guide you more through the registration process. We know it's your first time, or at least our freshmen, it's your first time registering, so we'll assist you.
I was gonna say, I'm waiting for Monica's go ahead.
Yeah, we're good. If y'all don't have any questions, we're set. And we just want to say thank you for attending our Weeks of Welcome presentation.
Yay, you all have a wonderful evening.
And a great weekend.
Bye.
Oh, thanks, Katie. You're so sweet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.